Good morning, everyone. It's Greg, American in Thailand. It is Monday, April the 7th. Well, we're going to talk about a newly acquired piece of property very near our home here. It's about a 2-minute walk, and we're going to be taking that walk here in a minute. Now, my wife tells me that her family bought this one piece of land almost 8 years ago, and it's mostly just been overgrown. I think the first time I drove past it about 3 years ago when we arrived, I couldn't hardly even see it. It was so overgrown, and the little street that it's on definitely needs a lot of care, which is right up my alley. So now here's a drone shot of directly above our property heading toward the land. You can see the gray square of the brand new wall that's been built, and the property that we just purchased is just to the left of it. So mother-in-law put in half, me and my wife put in the other half, and now we have both of these little pieces of property right next to each other. I'm going to measure the wall when I get down to it, so I'll pop those measurements up in the editing process so you get an idea. I think the property right next to this looks a little smaller from the drone view, but not sure. So we're going to walk down the street and show you that, sometimes location is obviously a big thing for property, but also maintaining it and having the surroundings of the property look nice, or its curb appeal. How does it look when you first get on the street? How do you feel when you stand on the street? And I will show you what I have in store for me and what I'm going to do, some little things that I'm going to do to kind of make the atmosphere look a little better. We are going to be building another wall next to it on here, putting a couple of gates, and then the plan is to plant bananas and lemongrass and mangoes and all kinds of other items like that as well, since it's so close to us and it's going to be easy for us to maintain. But you got to put a gate there, or neighbors will just walk over and help themselves to the free produce. So that's what's going to happen. All right, let's take a walk down the street and take a look at the new property, the wall, and the neighboring street. All right, thanks a lot. Bye. All right, let's begin the walk. Well, right across the street, this used to be totally full of vegetation. Couldn't even see the wall. I've kind of cleaned that up a little bit. Now, when you talk about curb appeal, I'm real big on keeping the road and the land kind of separate. If you can see the edging right along here, this used to be about a good foot over into the concrete. The road would grow over, it would be full of dirt. Grass would actually grow into the street, so I edged that back. And the approaching orange cone right here was provided by me only after, on some of my street work here, I actually ruptured a water line for the city, and they had to come out and repair that. And that cost me 100 baht, no big deal. But there's my little contribution to the town. Somebody is doing a lot of construction over here, or getting ready to build a home, because there's a lot of trucks going down the road today full of dirt. Sometimes you'll just see a series of those all day long as somebody is preparing to build up their land. So when you talk about curb appeal, I now spend two times a month on trash day on Thursdays. I come down this street and I pick up random trash. A lot of people will burn trash in the front of their house, or they'll just put it in these small containers out by the side of the street. But I go and I get the bigger pieces, the ones that just happened. Plastic bottles, kids' juice boxes, candy wrappers. I mean, I'm already seeing a lot of trash to pick up, but this is not the day for that. This street is also interesting because 3 of my wife's aunts live on this street. It's a 3-aunt road. Actually, 2 of them live right next to each other. So as far as family goes, hey, what's up, dog? How you doing? So as far as family goes, it's everywhere. That gentleman right there in that sidecar is turning down the street that we are going to go on. Probably could walk there in 3 minutes if I went a little faster. Most of this is pretty good. This tree right here I have to watch out for because the last time my hat got stuck in this tree. I will be back some other day to clip you, sir, so you don't attack my headwear. And here's some prime example of some of the edging that I'm talking about right here on my right. I'll be getting to that sometime. As you can see right here, there's still a portion of this right at this curve. And then you see where there isn't any. This used to go all the way down to that trash can there. As you can see, I've cleared away this edging, this thing that I playfully call the ditch of doom. All right. Let's head on down the street and you can see what we're up against here. Sawadee Kap. A lot of opportunities here to reclaim the street, which has been taken over by leaves and weeds and debris. Lots of opportunities. This wall right here, just a tremendous amount of dead vegetation growing over the wall. And that can be made to look so much better. Somebody behind me. And of course, after all the rains that happen, that are on their way, then this is obviously turns into just a bunch of mud. I mean, some of this concrete, you can't even see it. It's just layers of dirt. So this all needs to be collected, swept back. And once you do, you can kind of maintain it. And here we go. Here is the newly purchased land. And as we can see, the wall builders that we have hired already have some materials in place to get the wall started. And they've got their little work shed. And I've got a dog barking behind me, so he'll get used to me. Trust me, he will. So the drone flight came from that direction over this way. And I think I got here in about 3 minutes. And they've already started to put in some posts right here. All right, let's take a look at the property where the wall has been completed. Look, we already have a temporary structure right here. Keep the dogs out, curious dogs that are barking all around me. All right, we're gonna get a measurement of this real quick, and we'll continue down the street in just a bit. Now let's walk the remainder of the street on down, see what that looks like. Now this home right across from the new land, his curb appeal is very decent. Doesn't have a lot in front, but there's not a lot of extra weeds. There's not overgrown trees. There's not just trash everywhere. So that actually looks pretty good. So this property right here with the wall is surrounded on two sides by rice fields. How much longer people intend to use the rice field or when they intend to just start selling off the land for money, which is what's happened in the case of these two pieces of property we have. A gentleman that had a lot of property, but they start selling it off, which is fine. You need the money when you get older. So the end of the street here comes up to the wall of a local temple. And this street is a wreck. First of all, this is really the end of the concrete as you go further into the vegetation here. So this corner is definitely not amazing. Here we go. Now it's just a dirt road here. The concrete ends basically right here. Okay. Howdy, cop. So as we come down this way, this is a temple over here to my right, and wonderful barking dogs to my left. Howdy, cop. And then this street needs a lot of work too. It's not too bad, but the concrete here is just it's terrible, and there's like exposed rebar into the street right here. All right, well, what's up, dog? That is the street situation here. Coming back the other way, it is just wild vegetation on my left. It's in front of the rice field, which I don't even know if that thing was harvested this last time. It could have been. Looks pretty burned out. And that's about the extent of it. All right, well, we're gonna head back home. That is the street. That is the 3-minute walk. There is actually a new home being built right across the road, so that's an improvement. But there are some homes that are in need of vast repair on this street. So it's a little mixture of everything. And that's just the way it is right here. You get off the beaten path and it can be a little rough in certain areas, but all it needs is a little bit of touch-ups here and there. This is not going to take a lot of work, but unfortunately with the upcoming hot weather season coming up, it's not going to be a lot of opportunities for me to do that without, giving myself a heart attack. All right, that's it for now. Thanks everybody for watching, and we will see you soon.